In the ancient land of Egypt, a remarkable journey unfolded during the Neolithic Age, a period spanning from 9,500 to 4,400 BC. Communities embarked on a momentous transition from a hunter-gatherer existence to settled agricultural societies. At the heart of this transformation lay the majestic Nile River, flowing northward from Africa into the Mediterranean Sea. As the longest river in the world, its waters held profound significance for the civilization that would emerge. The Nile River was characterized by its annual floods, a phenomenon known as the inundation. During the summer months, heavy rains in the Ethiopian highlands caused the river to overflow its banks, bestowing upon the land a divine gift. The ancient Egyptians revered this flood as a blessing from the gods, attributing it to the deity Hapi, who was believed to be responsible for the Nile's inundation. From July to November, the floodwaters reached their peak in Egypt before gradually receding, leaving behind a treasure, nutrient-rich silt known as black silt or kemet. This fertile sediment proved to be the lifeblood of agriculture and the key to the prosperity of the lands. Within the rhythm of these annual floods, the agricultural calendar of ancient Egypt was born, dividing the flood cycle into three distinct seasons: Akhet, inundation; Peret, growth; and Shemu, harvest. During the inundation season, the land lay submerged, temporarily limiting farming activities. People turned their attention to vital maintenance work, repairing irrigation systems, and preparing the fields for future planting. As the floodwaters gradually receded, the growth season unfolded. This marked a time of immense significance for the farmers, who plowed the fertile soil and sowed the seeds of their harvest. It was during this season that the crops flourished, absorbing the nourishment bestowed by the river's bounty. And then, the long-awaited harvest season arrived, a time of abundance and celebration. The crops ripened under the golden Egyptian sun, ready to be gathered in a bountiful harvest. The people expressed their gratitude to the Nile for its life-giving waters, recognizing it as the ultimate provider of sustenance. The reliance on the annual floods of the Nile shaped not only the agricultural practices but also the religious and cultural beliefs of the ancient Egyptians. They viewed the floods as a divine blessing, and in response, they devised an elaborate system of irrigation to harness the river's benefits. Canals, dikes, and reservoirs were ingeniously constructed to control the flow of water, ensuring its distribution to the fields. Even surplus water was carefully stored in vast reservoirs, safeguarding against times of drought or low water levels. With the Nile River as their steadfast ally, the ancient Egyptians flourished in their agricultural pursuits. In addition to cultivating crops, they recognized the importance of domesticating animals, including cattle, goats, sheep, and pigs. These animals played essential roles in agriculture, food production, and trade, further enhancing the prosperity of the civilization. As the cultivation of crops and the domestication of animals thrived, permanent villages began to dot the landscape along the Nile River. These communities grew in size and complexity, forging connections and developing trade networks that linked different regions. Through local and regional exchange, the ancient Egyptians engaged in a barter system, trading surplus agricultural produce such as wheat, barley, flax, and legumes. These trading systems, along with specialized professions, contributed to a diversified diet, population growth, and the development of more complex social structures. Within these evolving communities, tasks became specialized, with individuals dedicating themselves to farming, herding, craftsmanship, and other essential endeavors. The shift to an agrarian lifestyle brought about profound changes in the social fabric of Egyptian society. People settled in permanent settlements, giving rise to intricate systems of governance, the emergence of social hierarchies, and divisions of labor. With each passing year, the communities grew larger and more organized, fueled by their expanding networks of trade and exchange. The Nile River, acting as a natural trade route, not only nourished the agricultural landscape but also connected Egypt with the wider world. It served as a conduit linking Egypt with Nubia to the south and the Levant to the northeast. Through these trade networks, the ancient Egyptians gained access to valuable resources such as copper, gold, gemstones, timber, and exotic luxury goods. These precious materials found their way into the construction of grand edifices, the creation of awe-inspiring art, and the mastery of intricate craftsmanship. Trade played an indispensable role in the development and prosperity of ancient Egyptian society, fostering cultural interaction and forging lasting connections with neighboring regions. The positive developments of the Neolithic Age paved the way for the subsequent Chalcolithic Period, which took place from approximately 4,400 BC to 3,100 BC. During this period, trade with the Levant emerged as a significant catalyst in shaping the development of ancient Egyptian civilization. The Levant, with its rich resources, provided Egypt with ample supplies of valuable commodities, particularly copper ores. Through trade with the Levant, the Egyptians acquired the skills to work with copper, wielding it to create tools, weapons, and ornate artifacts. The availability of copper tools revolutionized agriculture, enabling more efficient land clearance and advanced farming techniques. The increased agricultural productivity led to a surplus of food and a burgeoning population. Egyptian society thrived during the Chalcolithic period, supported by the surplus of food and the utilization of copper tools. The establishment of larger settlements and the growth of urban centers became possible, giving rise to skilled artisans who crafted intricate pottery, textiles, and jewelry. The presence of copper tools enhanced the quality of stone and bone tools, elevating craftsmanship in various domains. Trade connections expanded even further, reaching southward to Nubia, which enriched Egypt's access to valuable resources. The possession of such resources, coupled with a growing trade network, led to the emergence of wealthier individuals and social elites, altering the social fabric and organizational structure of communities. As social differentiation became more pronounced, burial practices during the Chalcolithic period displayed varying levels of complexity. Some burials were simple and utilitarian, while others featured elaborate rituals and grave goods. These grave goods, including pottery vessels, tools, jewelry, and figurines, symbolized beliefs in the afterlife and the significance of personal possessions on the journey beyond death. The transition from the Chalcolithic period to the Naqada period marked a pivotal moment in ancient Egyptian civilization. While the specific catalysts for this transition remain subjects of ongoing research, it is evident that a combination of socioeconomic, cultural, technological, and environmental factors played essential roles in shaping the developments of the Naqada period. During the Naqada period 1 and 2, which took place from approximately 4000 to 3200 BCE, significant advancements occurred, signifying a transition from village life to more complex and centralized systems that would come to define the dynastic period. Named after the town of Naqada in Upper Egypt, where evidence of these transformations has been discovered, these periods witnessed the expansion of agriculture, trade networks, and the widespread use of copper tools alongside traditional stone implements. The growth in size and complexity of small villages led to the emergence of organized settlements with planned layouts and substantial structures along the Nile River. Accompanying this transition were remarkable advancements in pottery production techniques. Pottery vessels became more intricately designed, featuring unique shapes and a wider range of colors. Alongside pottery, other artifacts like cosmetic palettes, stone and ivory carvings, and figurines showcased the artistic achievements of the Naqada period. Meanwhile, stone tools reached new levels of sophistication with the creation of ground stone tools, while the use of copper tools became increasingly prevalent, revolutionizing various aspects of life. Trade routes and connections established in previous periods expanded during the Naqada period, facilitating increased cultural exchanges and granting access to vital resources. These trade networks played a pivotal role in the development and prosperity of ancient Egyptian society. Furthermore, the architectural styles of the time evolved, foreshadowing the monumental architecture that would define later periods of Egyptian civilization. Large-scale mud brick structures emerged, testaments to the increasing complexity and ambition of the society. The culmination of the Naqada period arrived in Naqada III, also known as the Proto-Dynastic Period or Dynasty 0. This period marked the transition from the pre-dynastic era to the dynastic era and set the stage for the renowned civilization of ancient Egypt. The establishment of larger agricultural societies in Upper and Lower Egypt gave rise to distinct cultures. In the south, the Naqada, Amratian, culture thrived, while in the north, the Mahdi culture developed. It was during Naqada III that kings emerged, adopting royal insignia and consolidating political power. Hieroglyphic writing, a crucial form of communication, began to develop, and iconic artifacts like the scorpion mace head and the Narmer palette showcased the complexity and authority of the early kings. The Naqada III period culminated in the historic unification of Upper and Lower Egypt under the rule of King Narmer, marking the beginning of the First Dynasty and the official commencement of the Dynastic period. Thus began the remarkable journey of ancient Egypt, a civilization that would captivate the world with its grandeur, achievements, and enduring legacy. From the humble origins of the Neolithic Age to the culmination of the Naqada period, the story of ancient Egypt unfolds like the fertile floodwaters of the Nile, nourishing and shaping a civilization that would leave an indelible mark on human history. This brings us to the end of this video, and we will touch on parts of ancient Egypt in other videos. We thank you for watching, and if this lets you understand the Neolithic transformation of Egyptians, please like and subscribe to our channels for more videos like this. See you next time.